along the road, just as they were standing. All the lads and lasses there, all the smiling faces, gathering along the Scotswood Road to see the bleeding races. We went to bleeding races.
Oh, it's back through Bartes!
1962 on a summer's afternoon, we took the bus from Bambras and she was heavy laden. Where we went along Collinwood Street, that's on the road to Bladen. Whoa, me lads, you should have seen us gunning, passing the folks along the road just as they were standing. All the lads and lasses there, all with smiling faces, gathering along the Scotswood Road to see the bleeding races.
Yes, people, welcome back to another video. John Sinclair TV back again, and right on a Monday night. And I've got two great guys there, my co-host Tony, and I've got someone on loan from the Toon Review, and I got Roy. Big up Roy, big up Tony.
How you doing,
Hi,
mate?
John. Hi, Roy. All right, lads?
All right, mate.
Champion.
Yeah, you.
Feeling stuff. And just before we go on to go further, if you do like the video, like what you see, then please have to hit the like button. Also, hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. If you like to super chat, then click on the $sign and just give what the channel is worth. And also, if you like to become a member, then click on the join button via your Android or your laptop as well. And if you can do that, that'd be amazing. And thank you so much indeed for that. And also as well, I've now got 3,500 subscribers. I'd like to say thank you for each and every one of you as well, which I think is amazing. And I had 2,800 beginning of July and 700 in 2 months. I'm so made up for that one. Thanks so much indeed, guys. So, yeah, just a bit of breaking news as well. That Loris, is it that goalkeeper? Is it Carries?
Loris Carries.
Carries, that's the one. I tried to pronounce his name, Reach. Thank you, Roy. I signed a short-term contract up until January as back up to Newcastle, and I know a lot of people are not very happy with that signing sort of thing. That is a liability. But let's be real. I mean, look, at the end of the day, we've got to give the guy a chance, and he has been playing games for Chicas for 2 seasons. And then he played 4 matches for Union Berlin in the Bundesliga, and he just wants to prove his worth. So, look, at the end of the day, get some training, get coaching, and it'll be fine. Let's go on to tonight's show. The 10 worst Newcastle signings in the history of the game. Before I go on, I've got Lee. Big up to Lee Taylor. Hope you're okay. Michael Owen has to be up there, one of the worst signings I've ever made, especially for the price tag that pay Real Madrid for him. Like the rest, so Campbell, I can understand. Owen, Luke here, Boomson, and Gibage for sure. That's a Mats. Michael Owen, hospital case, no decided player from Newcastle, and a complete bell end. Thank you, man. I totally agree. You're in trouble, Roy. Roy, I hope you not got it wrong, have you?
Nah, I'm okay. Paul loves the show anyway, and I love Paul as well, so don't worry.
He's a great. Thank you very much indeed. And if Paul's watching, and I'm sure he is. Paul, thank you so much for loaning it out to Roy. I think he's a great guy, and he's always welcome to come on my channel as well. And giving to Gary, giving to Mason as well, one of my co-hosts as well. All right, we're going to talk about the first player. For me personally, if I kick things, do you want me to kick things off? Tony, you want to kick off these first, or?
Yeah. Crack on, John, crack on.
Right, my first one, right, I'm not going to lie, right, but, this guy took the mickey when he came to Newcastle, and he didn't even want to come. I mean, he's not top of the list, but he's up there. It's Florian Thauvin, right, from Marseille. We often before, but he didn't want to come, right, but he was forced to go to Newcastle for 13 million quid, right. This guy has got all the talent in the world. He's skillful. He's got pace. He scored goals. The problem is, right, he was so lightweight. It was incredible, man, right? And let's be real, right? It was that bad. He only must have 1 goal in 16 appearances for Newcastle, and he was swiftly went back on loan to Marseille. Now, where is he playing? He's playing in Mexico now. He could have gone to Italy, but he didn't. He went to Mexico instead. Let's be real. Thauvin is not good enough for Newcastle United. I think it's a complete utter waste of money. And yeah, that is me. So Thauvin, I'm sorry, he is not good enough for me whatsoever. let's go. Before we go into Tawny, we've got one for even to miss everybody. Big up to Roy, moonlighting again. Yes, indeed. Yeah, nice video today and keep up the hard work. Thank you, mate. Sean, I met him Sainsbury's today. Great guy. Sean will probably have ex-Man United players in his team. He cannot stand Man United, can he? And Ian said Torvan as well. And right, we start you, Tony. I said Torvan, who's your one of your worst signings in Newcastle?
Well, here we go. I'm going to put the picture on screen, so let me know when it's on screen. Is that on screen now?
Yes, it is. Let's go.
Yeah, and that is Dave Peasant. Well, what do we say about this player? We signed him from Wimbledon, £750,000 after that cup final heroics for Wimbledon against Liverpool. Let's just say he weren't a great keeper when he came to Newcastle. He was absolutely shocking, and he soon left the club and went on to Chelsea. But yeah, Dave Peasant, just for me, wasn't great. He was great for Wimbledon. Fortunately, we got him, and he just didn't really perform for us. And what else can I say about him? Apart from the only time he did well was when it was the 92-93 promotion season, and we played Grimsby Town. We had won 10 in a row, and Grimsby Town came. Peasant was on loan from Chelsea to Grimsby, and he had an absolute storm of that day because I was at that game, and he was absolutely brilliant between the sticks for Grimsby. And then I always remember they scored goal from Jim Dobbin in about the 90th minute, which ended our winning streak. But he had a barnstorming. He was man of the match, I think, for Grimsby that day. And I thought, well, why couldn't we see this Dave Peasant at Newcastle? So, so Dave Peasant goes on my list as one of the worst signings in Newcastle's history when he signed back in 1988.
Wow. I'll tell you what, though, let's be real, right? I mean, I think he was homesick as well, by the way, and shifted went swiftly back to London. He just didn't fancy it at all whatsoever, do you know what I mean? But look, at the end of the day, Tony, if you don't want to play for the club, he could bugger off back down to London. Simple as that. So he wasn't that great, by the way. I can't lie. I cannot lie. But yeah, what else? What more can I say about Dave Peasant? What more can I say?
Yeah, exactly. And look at the top back then as well, the Umbro top that we had.
Yeah. Those were the days they getting Umbro tops as well. They were cool.
Yeah.
I like
the old Greenalls.
Yeah.
But yeah. It's a shame he didn't. It's a shame, though.
It is. It's a shame. What's that noise? Is that you, Tony?
Yeah, it's I live right next to an airbase. I've just had an airplane come really low over me. I could literally see the pilot, John.
Yeah.
That's how low he is. Not
good. Wow. I tell you what, though, I'm not surprised it picks you up and go to the match.
Hey, no, I'll tell you what, I would love it. It's an American airbase. I live in between two, but the one I live near is like the RAF Mildenhall, and then I've got Lakenheath, which is where all the big jets are, the fast jets. But Mildenhall's all like the cargo planes and that. And he came really low there. I've never seen him that low, to be honest. So what he's doing.
Wow.
But yeah, I do apologise about that. That's beyond my control. I can't do nothing about that. You just interrupted me as I was talking.
No, that's fine. That is fine. No problem. Yeah, I got Tanji saying that Marcelino's a flop. The Clone lads saying I know to mention Skivash, Rush, Barnes, Sapir, Marcelino, and Hamilton. We do a short list as well. Michael Owen didn't want to play for the club. Doumbia didn't even want to play for the club. Came from Roma as well, by the way. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Alano Perez was another keeper. He didn't show up for us at all. Exactly. Roy, give us one of your worst signings for Newcastle United, please.
I've got loads of them. Yeah.
As well.
Well, should I go with the classic one and get it out of the way because everyone's writing Michael Owen. So I'll talk about Owen.
Yeah.
When he first joined, it was great until that Spurs game when he broke his metatarsal, and then it took him 7-8 months, and then the World Cup went. He went to the World Cup, then he got his ACL and took another year to play again. And then I think he got back his form back and he scored 2 against Sunderland. And I think the main reason why we don't like him is his last season, his attitude. and the way he left the club at the end. And of course, the wages. I'm not sure, was it 100 or 120 a week? I'm not sure.
120k a week.
Yeah, so ungrateful. The way he left, and then he went to the villains and Red, which I don't like them, and then that's why we hate them. Really, there was not a thank you to the fans after all those years. So if you're on 100k a week, that's 5+ million a year. So he's made something like 30-40 million pounds out of the club. That should be number one, really, the worst. And what do we? He scored what, 30 odd goals though, in total.
Yeah, around that. I think he scored 16 goals in his first season, something like that, which is reasonable. Yeah. But at the end of the day, right? I mean, he just flopped completely, didn't he? He just flopped. He really did. He missed a lot of chances as well, Roy. And I tell you something, that is unacceptable. Unacceptable for a guy who cost us 16 million quid, right, on a 4-year deal. And Real Madrid just laughed at us. They just laughed at us so badly. It's just absolutely unbelievable, man. Crazy,
they got us back for Woodgate, I think.
Say again, Roy?
They got us back for Woodgate because we sold them Woodgate, and then he was injured all the time, and then they gave us Owen. But the thing is, I think when he first joined, he was perfect. There was nothing wrong with him. It's metatarsal, then ACL, and then started all this muscle problems. But it's mostly what he did in the last year, his last season with us. I remember that wasn't the last game was Villa. The one before was Fulham at home. Didn't turn up, injured or something. And then there was I think we had Middlesbrough, Portsmouth. Yeah, we had Middlesbrough at home, Portsmouth at home, I think, and then Fulham, and we had Villa. Those 4 games, we couldn't win any of them. That's how. We beat Borough 3-0. Yeah, I think we beat Borough 3-0, and then we drew with Portsmouth. I think we lost to Fulham. I'm not sure. Was it a lot? We lost.
Yeah, we lost 1-0 to Fulham in that game.
That's the last game of the season.
That's where Viduka scored. And it was ruled offside, but when replay showed he was onside, Viduka. So at that point would have kept us up.
Yeah.
I remember I was there on crutches, and as soon as the final whistle came, the sky went dark. It was weird. I think it was a 3 p.m. kickoff, but as soon as about 5 o'clock, the sky went black. It was dark and cold.
Busy, man, isn't it?
I think at that point I thought we were down.
Exactly. 26 scores in 71 games for Michael Owen in his 4-season stay. In my opinion, he didn't want to stay at the club. He did not want to be at Newcastle United. The reason he went to Newcastle is because no other top 4 club wanted him at the time. Yeah. For me, I would have gone for Fernando Torres, so let's call Madrid. I think it would have been the same money. And I tell you what, that would have been a signing of 4 signings there. I think he would have been perfect for Newcastle United, with Emery as a 10 behind him, and I think that partnership would have been absolutely amazing. I'm telling you. So we should have gone after Fernando Torres. We didn't. We've gone for Michael Owen, and I'm thinking that was Graham Souness' signing. We spent 50 million that season. He got sat at the end of the year. Good riddance for bad apples, by the way. Got some more comments, by the way. Who got Viana? Silver marriage. I'll be Luke Careful. Others. Look, I'm not going to cuss on the Viana that much because at the end of the day, I didn't think he was giving him a chance. Probably the Premier League didn't suit him. Under I say better players around him. I think he would have been Aries. Andy Thorne, Glenn Hodges, that Swedish striker Andreas Andersson was awful to. Guess where he came from? AC Milan. Sunset, Ian Rush, Johnny Barnes, Damien Duff. Oh my God, it's shocking when he has to Duff. I'm sorry, but he was poor. I mean, no one's didn't want him. Big up to Jack as well. Big up to you, Jack. Big up to Jeff Lionel Perez. Didn't probably try to side Torres and Tevez after watching him in the Olympics. I can remember that as well, but that just didn't happen, by the way, unfortunately. And Sim De Young. So for me, both brothers, exactly. Yeah. Look what Luke de Jong done in Spain. He was absolutely brilliant for Spain, Sevilla, and did well. Did have a Barca, by the way. I can't lie. Cazappa, look, don't get us wrong. Cazappa, when he came, I thought he came as a representation, and unfortunately, he just didn't cope. The one best thing he did that brilliant tackle, goal-bound tackle against the Borough, and kept us in the game. So, yeah, let's go on to the next one. It'll be my turn. For me, I'm going to go with Emmanuel Riviere. This guy, right, I'm sorry, he cost £6 million. Now, we could have got 2 players, better quality players, for a bit more money. But guess what? We went for Riviere instead, right, for £6 million. Everyone packed this guy up, right, and said, this guy is not good enough for Newcastle United. He's not going to get us enough goals. He ain't good enough. All he's got is pace, but his finishing is shocking, right? I got ripped apart that year. Please, it's been negative. No, it wasn't been negative. I was speaking the truth. He has scored one goal, people, in that season, and that's the deflected free kick goal, yeah? It was an absolute disaster, yeah? And I tell you what, he's playing in Serie B in the Italian league now, sort of thing. Still can't speak Italian, which is a bit of a shame. But look, for me, Tony, Riviere, for me, it's just a complete utter flop. It was shocking, man.
Oh, he was. He couldn't hit a barn door, could he, John, to be honest? And
shocking, man.
Just an awful signing, really. And glad we got rid of him, sent him back to France, you know. Where, to be fair, he's done all right for them. But, yeah, but that's France, but it's not England. But, yeah, he was shocking.
Shocking.
You know who reminds me of him exactly the same? It was Joe Linton when he first joined. I thought, oh my God, this is Riviere again. But thank God Eddie Howe switched him to midfield now. Otherwise, it was exactly the same. First touch like a rhino, but it's changed. Luckily, he's found his position now. Yeah, Riviere was shocking.
It was shocking. 26 appearances, 1 goal. Just sums him up, done it. You know what I mean? Let's be real. I mean, it was absolutely shocking. And you know, and I see. Look, I get these things right. He ain't good enough, and I called it absolutely right with this guy. He was absolutely shocking. You got more. You got people like saying Boom Song. We come on to him as well. He's on that list. Mace is saying Matt Sells and Cabela, Orwatan, Givash, and kind of say John Dar Thomason was disappointing. Yeah, we couldn't cuss that guy because he wasn't ready for the Premier League, but he's a champion. He is in Milan as well. Tangier Obertan, Mapu Yangambia. Look, really came. He had a reputation, but again, I think he was powered you by the way. I can't lie. Give our shit for Kendall. Ian saying, when we get a bad player, it feels worse than someone do better. Example, John Dar Thompson. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hugo Viana did Valencia, but there you go. Bramble as well. And you got Muto. Tony, give us your next one, man. Huh?
Yep. So, yes, next one on screen. Nacho Gonzalez. So,
oh my God,
this was the player that tipped the balance, and Kevin Keegan left the club and sued Mike Ashley. Keegan did not want this player, never had any interest in him whatsoever. The poison dwarf Dennis Wise decided that he'd watch a 3-minute YouTube video on this guy and thought, oh, what a great player, let's get him in. Brought him in on loan from Spain. Valencia, I think it was, he came from. And he played 2 games. He got injured. He never pulled on the shirt ever again. An absolute waste of a signing. And like I say, that was the signing that tipped Keegan over the edge and said, look, do you know what? Stick your job, mate. Actually, I'm gone. Why we signed him, I do not know, because the guy wasn't up to it. But believe it or not, this guy's 40-year-old now, and he's still actually playing back in his homeland in Uruguay. But yeah, not a great sign in my eyes. What about you, John and Roy?
I'll let you go first, Roy.
Absolute disaster. Him and his mate Cisco, both of them. Dennis Wise again. I'm glad all this thing happened and Keegan left, and it was a complete disaster, because that same week Keegan was trying to get Luka Modric, and I'm not sure, was it 8 million, and someone said he's not going to be good enough for the Premier League, and there you go, he ended up being World Cup final, played for Spurs, Real Madrid, Champions Leagues, and Dennis Wise and whoever advised and said he's not good for the Premier League was wrong. and we end up getting Cisco and Nacho. Nacho's good with some hot sauce, though. There you go.
Yeah, right. Well, apparently the Modric thing, apparently that come out that obviously mate Ashley's best mate was at Tottenham, Paul Kemsley, and he said,
Aye.
"Oh, we're coming in for Modric." So mate Ashley said, "Oh, well, we'll pull out of it so you can have him," an old pals that sort of thing. That was the rumor doing the rounds. Whether it's true or not, I don't know.
Yeah,
Well,
so there you
according
go.
to Keegan, really did.
Not
Go
surprised.
on, right? Go on, right? Go on, right?
No, not so. Whatever. I'm never surprised with anything Ashley's done in those 14 years.
Shocking, isn't it? I mean, I've got one here from Mason says, there. Paul said, Clive, but to be fair, at the end of his career and scored a few goals. So when he came to us, he's 28 years old, but he could have done more. He could have done a lot more. But then again, he was overweight anyway, which is a shame because that guy is a world-class player, but he hasn't shown it. Foxy said, he can't got any loan sign. This is the worst of all time for me. And the only judging players that played for us, that's fair enough. And Gonzalez is actually a pretty decent player, had a solid career. Well, I don't watch a lot of Spanish football. Do you know what I mean? I can only judge you. He only played 2 games for Newcastle United, so I can't really judge him if he had a career or not. But obviously, Foxy knows about him. And
but obviously, Keegan didn't want him, so there must have been something there that Keegan didn't like.
Exactly. And they know what it is, right? And that's why Keegan buggered off, didn't he? Got Leslie as well. Big up to Leslie, by the way. Nick Butt, can't forgive him for his non-performance at the Millennium Stage. I tell you what, if you watch that game, I was at that game, right? Look, I was lived over the bridge, right? That guy was an absolute disaster, Nicky Butt. He was supposed to be the leader. You would have thought at times he was playing for Man United.
Yeah. Is that the one when Rooney got that volley?
Yeah, no, that was Millennium, the FA Cup. I paid 50 quid for that ticket, right? 50 quid. I was really looking forward to the game. And, you know, I left that match very disappointed. Very, very disappointed, by the way.
Yeah.
And, I mean, Clive is not going to be in the worst signing. He's definitely not been the worst because he could have done a lot more. I was disappointed Clive had given us class. So I said Riviere. You said Gonzalez. Your turn, Roy.
Mr. Alan Smith, number 17, and he came in, and we were like, wow. Even Ashley had, I had his name on the back of the shirt. Scored 0. I think he scored in a friendly against Celtic or something. I was there. I watched him. I remember watching him on that friendly game, and I thought, wow, we got someone with class here. And then week after, he got injured a bit, and then he came back and never scored. I can't remember how many years did he stay? 3 or 4. 3, I think 3 seasons. Never scored. Switched a bit deep, played a deeper position at the end, but absolutely useless. So he's one of mine. I don't know how much we paid. 6 or
6 million.
Sure. 6. Yeah. Rubbish.
Fair enough. I've got some more comments as well. Carl Court. Listen, I like Carl Court, but he's been unlucky with injuries, by the way. Again, they could have done more. But I'm surprised when Bobby Robson bought him because I didn't think he's that kind of player. But he bought him for 7 million. Wow. A lot of money back then in 2000, by the way. Nicky Buddy well for us when we went down. Did I read? Court as well. I did like Carl Court. Nine Ranger. Oh, man, the less said about that guy, the better. And I beat as well, which is from Mason. Yeah. Listen, people wanted him back. And I think, nah, he ain't coming back. There's no way. And Fox said, Boomsong marriage worse for me. We paid millions for them both. Big money at the time they were. Boomsong cost 8 million. Rangers laughed at us, by the way. And Silver Marriage was on the verge of going to East Milan until Newcastle pinched him as well. So there you go. So the next I'm going to go with, right? No one I'm mentioning yet. You mentioned Gonzalez is Cisco, right? Cisco. Not Cisco Kid. He may be dancing in Spain, but he couldn't dance at Newcastle United. 5, it cost us around about just under 6 million quid and 5-year contract. He hardly played for us as well. And this guy is playing in the second division as well, 35-year-old. And this has got to be, for me, one of the worst signings ever in the history, yeah? That was a Dennis Wise signing, not a Keegan signing. Again, like Tony said, that tipped the edge up on Keegan. He said, bugger off, I'm not going to stay here, right? Cisco, right, hardly scored goals, right? Yeah, he's quick. He scored his debut goal, yeah, but that didn't hit the headlines, Tony.
No, he was absolutely woeful, wasn't he? I just, yeah, he didn't really do much. I think he played 9 games and scored 1 goal in over a 4-year period. He just kept getting low. Now, I remember, I think when we first signed him, I think we had only had him a few months and we tried to sell him. And it was blocked by FIFA because you can't be registered with 3 clubs in one season. So, yeah, so he I don't even know why he was bought, to be honest, but another one of, you know, the Ashley Cockney Mafia clan who decided, oh, we'll bring him in. You know, Dennis Wise again, that, you know, that guy who just can't really stand, to be honest. Yeah, absolutely woeful. And you may be well banging him in Spain in the second division, but that might be his level. But certainly Premier League wasn't his level. And like I see, only scored the 1 goal.
Wow, shocking. That guy's poor. I mean, he had so many loan moves as well, right? And I tell you something, right? I mean, most clubs would have just got shot of him, by the way. But we didn't. We couldn't. He was on £50,000 a week, Conroy, and we just couldn't shift them at all whatsoever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because he didn't want to pay cut, and nobody wanted, not any other clubs wanted to pay that much money, and they'll take him, but he didn't want to pay cut, so he was happy to stay on the bench and just get paid. Well, not even on the bench; he wasn't even called on the squad half of the time, so he was happy getting paid and doing nout. So obviously, some players would take the cut and just to play again. But he was some players are, no, I don't want to pay cut. I'll sit on the bench here.
Crazy. I mean, look. I mean, he's had 5 seasons to Newcastle United, 9 appearances for the club, just 1 solitary goal, right? And that was the opening day of the season against Hull City. Other than that, he hasn't done it. And he's 36 years of age now, right? Not 35, 36 years of age. I do apologise. And since he joined Newcastle, he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 clubs. 8 clubs he's played since he's joined Newcastle United. It is an absolute disaster, right? And absolutely shocking. But I'll blame Dennis Wise for that and Ashley for that as well. You know what I mean? So Milner, same year. Tried to sell other place when Keegan's back. Hey ho. No way up fame with Martins, 28 goals in 88 games. I tell you what, if I was giving a market rating to Martins, right, I love this player. He's an unpredictable, scored some cracking goals for me. I'll give him an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 for me. During the stay in Newcastle. I think anyone see it, right? I think this guy's class. He really, really is class.
I love Martins as well.
He's brilliant. What would you give him out of 10, Tony? Up fame Martins out of 10.
I'll give Martins an 8 out of 10. Not a prolific scorer, but when he did score, he scored some cracking goals, John. I mean, I remember that one he scored against Spurs as well. You know, when we were 3-0 down against Spurs. And of all players to start the comeback was Paul Huntington, if you remember, all them years ago when he scored the first goal to bring us back into the game. And I think Nicky Butt scored the second, and Martin scored the third. Or was it Martin got the second? And I can't remember which way it was now, but anyway, I remember that. He scored some cracking goals, though. And his celebration weren't too bad to go with it either, was it?
Exactly.
I was there. It was freezing. It finished 4-2. Huntington's goal was a freak as well. It came from a tight angle.
Yeah.
And then Martin's got that. Nicky Button as the fourth. I can't remember now.
I think it's Michael Owen. I think it could be Michael
2000.
Owen. No. Is that young lad? Did the young lad score? Huntington.
Yes. Yeah.
That's the tight one. Yeah.
Did he get 2? No,
he got 1.
No.
So Owen.
1. It's him.
I couldn't remember the exact score again, but
I think I'm not sure it's 4-1 or 4-2.
Yeah,
because I think we beat them twice in a row away, and we scored 4 twice.
Steve Bruce. Well, and go for his score. Cisco scores debut. The fans was on this Keir straight away in defence of Keegan, which is fair, but it was a bit harsh on the lad. He was doomed from the start. Look, I don't like having to go up players sort of thing. Yeah, joining us, it was not his fault, but at the end of the day, right? I mean, he's a Newcastle player, and there's little he can do about it. Not my fan. I'm not being funny. He's not going to win us title. He's not going to get us Champions League. But look, at the end of the day, right? I'll blame Dennis Weiss for that signing, which Keane didn't want. I saw Martis on Twitter the other day celebrating his 20th birthday the other day. Also, soft spot for Martin's good goal against Tottenham. Pick that. Yeah. And yeah, Martin's Glen Road as air when we got back into Europe. Absolutely. Did you said was it your turn, Tony? When it was your go next? Your go. Next one.
It's me, is it, John?
Your go, yeah.
Right. Okay, I'm going to put the next player on the screen for you.
Thank you.
Is that on now?
Just have a look. And yes.
So we have Shefki Kuchi, the flying Finn, as they used to call him. Now, you remember when we signed him 2011? He only played 6 games for us. He was absolutely woeful. I mean, why he was even brought into the club surprises me as well. And I mean, I think at the time when he signed, he admitted he didn't, he never knew anything about coming to Newcastle, and then all of a sudden he was coming, and he said he was happy coming here, but he's only here for 1 year. And to me, it wasn't a sign that really excited me. It was a sign that I thought, well, why have we signed him, But yeah, not a great signing. So he's got to be up there with being one of the worst signings ever, I'm afraid, because I just didn't rate the guy at all. Yes, he had a good career before us, but I think he was come to the end of it, and I think Newcastle's probably too big of a club for him, to be honest. What's your thoughts, John and Roy?
You know what it is, right? I mean, that was a shocking signing. Let's be real. When you saw Andy Carroll, Adam Pollard come on and said he's going to be dead body. He's going absolutely nowhere. 35 million quid could be the sell of the century. 35 million quid for me, which turned out to be a good deal because Andy Carroll was injured nearly every single week, in my opinion. But that part of the money could have gone on another striker. And if you've got Pape Cisse in the summer, right, not in January, I think we would have got top 4. Right.
Yeah. Because we got Cisse in January and he scored 13 goals in those 19 games or 18 games. But that summer we had we bought Dimbaba, Kabai, Tiote was there. I think we got 4 or 5 players, and it was probably our best. Let's call it bargain summer, because Kabai was at 4 million. Dimbaba, I can't remember how much I think Dimbaba was free. Yeah, it was a cook up with this contract. So Dimbaba was free. He failed the medical somewhere at Stoke. Failed the medical at Stoke with his knee. Came to Newcastle. We got Kabai for 4.5 million. Tiote was 3 million or 4 million. But we had Cisse in the summer with those guys. Definitely top 4, because we missed out on the last game against Everton. And we lost 1 or 2 games before that against Wigan 4-0, and kind of lost that top 4 spot.
Right, I just got a tweet, right, from a lad called Pastel Peanuts, right? He goes, John, there's some regime we are building now, man. Mind you, Newcastle Celtic anymore, Barca Real. Listen, I'm a Newcastle fan, right? And the Celtic fan second team, not gonna lie, yeah, but I do love town football Juve, yeah. So at the end of the day, right, some of our fan base, Tony, right, are just absolute muppets. They really, really are. Do you know what I mean? And why are our fans so picky, man? Howie. And
I mean, yeah, I just don't know, John. I mean, people just pick up on things, and at the end of the day, like I've said to you, since the takeover started, since we got the takeover, like it was completed, I've seen it more and more how toxic some of our fan base can actually be.
Shocking.
Because before then, there was never many arguments going on or people picking up with people. But now, It seems to be more of a recurrence. But, and it just pains me. We should all be united, really. We all support Newcastle United. We're all passionate for the club. We all want it to do well. We want to win trophies. The last time they won a trophy was before I was born. So, we want to see a trophy come into the club. But I just think, like you said there, John, Castle's your first team. You follow Celtic as a second team and maybe AC Milan as a third team.
No, Juventus. Juve.
Oh, Juventus, sorry.
Juventus.
So technically, but the first team, your bread and butter, the one you support the most is Newcastle, regardless. And then obviously it's Celtic and then Juve.
I love Italian football.
I'll not say Man United because that's not nice to say that, is it, John?
No, you cannot say Man United. Definitely no way. Some people.
I'm joking. I know. But yeah, no. At the end of the day, John, it shouldn't matter. I mean, you're supporting your first team, which is the main thing. Mm-hmm. We all have teams that we look at. I mean,
yeah, man.
When I used to have a season ticket at Newcastle, if I didn't go to away games, I used to go and watch Gateshead play, along with about another 500-600 Newcastle fans.
Yeah,
and I always follow to see what Gateshead do. If ever they've got an away game that's down here where I am, I'll go and see them if I can get there. So it's not that I support Gateshead, it's just because obviously I'm from Newcastle originally. Gateshead's a local area, and do you know what? Gateshead used to love that because they got all the fans that didn't go to away games. So instead of going to the away games, they all packed the international stadium out. And do you know what? We were always welcomed in there by Gateshead fans. They absolutely loved it. Fans wanted another Newcastle tops on and everything, and no trouble whatsoever. Newcastle fans joined in with the Gateshead lads and sang the Heat Army and everything. And do you know what? What a great atmosphere. And if anybody can't get the matches, definitely go to a Gateshead match because, the atmosphere is good. And also help the local club as well and give them some support and money as well.
Well said. Yeah. Well said, Tony. Well said. Got Davies of Bramble shite was Boom Song. If I remember, he paid 8 million paid for him, by the way, Dave. 8 million for Boom Song for Rangers. I think Saunders was doing Rangers a favour. Wow, I tell you what, let's be real, it was absolutely shocking. Which Italian club did you join after Newcastle? Juve. Paul Dalglish, see what the fan says. Chris Wood, he's up there. Michael Owen, one of the worst signings ever. That's from Chris Banks. Big up to Laura. Fun fact, Auburn Martin's married to Mary Balotelli's sister. I didn't know that, but thank you very much for that one, Laura. And Maxwell, 3-3, 3 points. Lynn, I believe. I think it was 3-2. It was 3-2. Sahad, did he do anything for us? Probably didn't, not a lot. I know he was young. Pancret as well, scored 1 goal. That was it. That's an Ian. He was like Forrest Gump, wasn't he? Forrest Gump.
He set a couple of goals up, though, John, as well. He done a few. I think he got 2 or 3 assists as well. So he weren't too bad, but obviously the only reason he wasn't given a new contract was we just didn't want him.
That's fair enough. Look, he's quick and he's powerful as well. Do you know what I mean?
But yeah, sorry, John, but I remember that goal against Watford he scored in the end, and I was sitting at the Sir John Hall stand. And I'll tell you what a cracking goal that was.
Yeah.
The way he crashed it in off the crossbar, fantastic goal. Just to say, look, this is me, I'm here now. But we were expecting more from him. We didn't get it, did we, unfortunately?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, he did his best. He scored a cracking goal. And probably Chris Hooton is sort of missing sort of thing, do you know what I mean? But look, he did okay. Some of the games weren't great, but what I like about Paquette is his pace as well. Harsh picks by Tony. Cucci was signed after the transfer deadline in Feb. Uso Cowan and had no forward. Only 3 ages of options. That should have gone to Irafon at the time. But again, that time of the club under Ashley is shocking. Absolutely shocking. You know what I mean? If I was party at the time, I would have walked. You know what I mean? And so glad we left it today. Still, we're Trotters in core bargain being turned around transfer hopefuls. Kendo, thank you. Night in the game, and Newcastle will be first team being Welsh. I'll follow Wrexham, so also so I understand. Good for you, man. Good for you. But make sure some people don't have a go on you on social media, mate. The armchair fans on social media are the worst. I tell you what, I'm not very far there. Foxy's talking to Knights. I won't read that. Jonathan Benwell born went to every home game and moved to Scotland at 20 by second team at Celtic. Asked me dad supported Celtic. Good lad. Again, I'd have a go at him. If people watching live on Twitter, have a go at him. I dare you. Is everyone glad football's back on the weekend? For me, yes. But I'm afraid I won't be going because I've got to work that day. Loving the Wrexham show on Disney puts the club and the town in a positive light. Not like some of the series you see where they just take advantage of people's involved. That's true. And also, I'd love to see Wrexham back in Football League because they are a good club. I'm a Toon fan for life. Hartlepool second. Professional club for me. 6 mile away. Can't stand the monkey hangers. Savannah Marshall's a Hartlepool fan as well, people. I think Riviere and Cisco are bad signings. Right, mate, you're absolutely correct, mate. Right then, Roy, it's your turn. Here's one of your signings, mate.
Okay, this one is one of Rafa's signings, and it's Ashraf Lazar, Moroccan left back.
As well.
Yeah, absolute disaster. So it was Rafa, he had the money, and he picked the player, he got the player, and he disappeared. Well, the player disappeared. It's absolutely shocking. Because remember when we always kept saying, "No, we've never replaced what was the Spanish lad's name who went to Liverpool? The fullback, I forgot his name now. Our left back who went to Liverpool.
Enrique? Is it Enrique?
No, Enrique went to Inter.
No,
was it Enrique? Yeah, Enrique.
Enrique went to Inter Milan. I'll be the first to know.
No. The one who went to the one who went to Inter Milan is Santon. So yeah.
Davide.
And we kept saying now we've never. Santon was actually not bad. So yeah, so Rafa went and bought Ashraf Lazar, and then we never saw him play, and we always saw Richie, Domit, the same thing. We'll still see these players now. So how many? We've had him for 3 or 4 years. He was an international Moroccan player as well, and I think Fiorentina and few Italian clubs wanted him. I can't remember where did he come from, Atlanta or something.
No, he came from Palermo. Palermo. And he joined Newcastle 2016 for £3 million. And I had high hopes of this guy because as an Italian game, 2016, £3 million Rafa signing. Very disappointed, by the way, because some of the games has been absolutely useless, by the way. But then again, he's only played 4 times in Newcastle, 4 appearances, 0 goals. Right, he's been on to loan at 3 different clubs, Benevento or Sheffield Wednesday, Cosenza.
And then the only one to blame for this is Rafa himself because he's the one who picked him. He bought him and never played him. So that's why. See, the thing is with me, with them, sometimes you get free players. If you get a player on a free and he's rubbish, then okay. Or a free agent. If he's rubbish, fine.
That's a problem.
Or someone for 2, like Obatan. Obatan was 3 million, I think, from Manu.
Oh
Obatan.
My God.
If you pay 3 million, don't expect to get Messi. You're gonna get what you pay for. But if you pay 10 million, like Boomsong, or I can't remember how much. I'm sure there was money under the table, right, left, and center, because he was not worth that much money.
Exactly.
Yeah. So if you pay a lot of money, you need to get performances for this. You pay money for a Ferrari, you should get a Ferrari. Don't pay money for a Ferrari and then you get a Vauxhall.
Well said.
That's what's happening. So yeah, Ashraf Lazar is my. I'm not gonna say shit. This is disappointed, and I'm disappointed with Rafa as well. Because if we're talking about Rafa's bad signings, we should talk about Rafa's bad decisions and letting players go as well. So he wasn't an angel. I mean, I love him. I've got him here. I've got him in my coaster, but he's done some cock-ups as well.
Absolutely.
Ivan Toney and who else left? There's one more. He's let go of 2 players and Mitrovic. That's it.
Yeah,
those 2. Well, Mitrovic was like a wild horse, so you didn't know what to get with him. But Ivan Toney was
superb. I'll take it back tomorrow. If you give us a striker, go Ivan Toney all day long. People's going to say, if we don't want him back as his attitude, what he's done for Brentford. No, I'll take him back tomorrow. He is sorted out. He is much after sorted striker in the Premier League for me. Much after sorted in.
I think if he carries on, the way he's scoring at the minute, the scoring run, and now he's obviously, the transfer in the shut, so Brentford will be happy they've got him. But if he keeps scoring the way he is, I think he'd be in that England team, and he could be going to Qatar as well. I wouldn't be surprised.
Because I know he took a free kick that day as well. So he scores from a free kick. So it's not just a number 9. It's like another Drogba suddenly, and he doesn't get the service that Chelsea gets. So imagine him with a team like Arsenal or Chelsea getting supplied with balls all day. So that's one that's gone.
I think in 6 games he's 5 goals and 2 assists. So that's not bad for a striker, is it?
Yeah, that's great. That
exactly. Got one here from Foxy as well. Any mention of Cabela, Tovan, yes, Cabela, no.
Mentioned,
but telling kids at the time clearly turned out as bad deals for us. We spent 25 million quid for these 2 lads, and it turned out to be absolutely poor. I mean, that's Graham Carr recommending Mike Ashley and pay that money. You know what I mean? And it is what it is, but that's a lot of money being wasted. Ashley wasted a lot of money, by the way. And Cabela is still on my friends list for my PlayStation. He's 31 years old and he's playing in Russia, by the way. And Matt Sales as well. Shaky Sales, by the way. And Olivier Bernard, his second signing for the club. The first he was great. I like Olivier Bernard. Don't get us wrong. I thought he had some great performances, by the way.
Games.
Big fan of Bernard, by the way. And always plays on FIFA Pops. Not so this took a bung over the boomsong doing allegedly. I don't know how true that is. If that is true, that is poor. Germany, Roman Amifidano, Kazuna Fair. And no one's going to mention as well, mate, was Ferreira. He was another poor signing. Didn't even get a game. What do you think, Tony?
Facundo Ferreira, yeah. He didn't, because he had this reputation of being a great striker abroad, didn't he? But he just didn't really. For some reason, he just didn't get played, and I was quite disappointed because I would like to have seen what he could have offered, But yeah, I don't understand. Another one of those signings, which is pointless, really. The same as Doumbia, he was another one, wasn't he, that came in and didn't really do anything. I think he had a couple of sub appearances, but apart from that, did nothing. Again, another loan signing that was pointless, really.
Yeah, absolutely pointless. Absolutely pointless. Gibby, Stefan de Gavache. Gibbsy, could you subscribe to my channel, please, miss? It's your first time, I quite believe, but thank you very much indeed. This one, the Rafa selling and Mbemba at the time, although he still had connections issues like the red card versus Tottenham. Look, I think Mbemba on this day is a really, really good defender. He really, really is. And, he's been unlucky as well. So he went to Porto. What about Muto? Look, Muto wasn't really given a chance. But look, at the end of the day, I think he'd be best to if he went elsewhere, show off his talents elsewhere. It's a shame. I like him, but excuse me, he's just didn't get enough games for me, sort of thing. And he won't get a foot under Steve Bruce as well. But good evening, Bob. I hope you're okay. Do you think we'll be at full strength on Saturday? We don't know yet, but we're going to find out the press conference on Friday. Press conference action, Bob, is on the Friday. So I'll just that question again on Friday, and then just that'd be fantastic. I hope we do. I hope we get them back. Cabela's at Lille now. Thanks for that, Mason. I forgot. I know he's in Russia, but I didn't know he was at Lille. Vasuda Ferreira gave me a shirt, so no Slater than there. To be fair, he was never given a chance, and again was only a loan. Damn well, everywhere else he's gone. The former Shakhtar striker, by the way. And going to Stefan Davey, Albert Luque. Yes, Albert Luque is another poor signing, Tony. 9.5 million quid. 3 goals in 48 games for us. He had loans at Ajax and Malaga. I tell you what, this guy, let's be real, he came with an injury, right? It was medical, and we still signed the guy.
Yeah, it was crazy, John. He didn't set the world alight, to be fair, in the Premier League. But The guy's still a legend in some ways because,
Aye.
you know, Albert Luque wrapped it up
Get up.
against the Mackhams 4-1, John, you know.
Yes.
That was that game when we were 1-0 down, we come back and Albert Luque wrapped it up and sent the Mackhams home crying.
yeah.
So, yeah.
No way he should be on that list.
No, not for that anyway. Anybody who scores against Sunderland and helps us win against Sunderland's a legend regardless. That's legendary status. I mean, it's like,
I may not
it's like we've had
bad signing.
It's like we've had, when you think about people who have scored against Sunderland, we've had two O'Briens score against Sunderland, Liam O'Brien and Andy O'Brien.
O'Brien.
Exactly.
And Andy O'Brien, who was signed from Bradford, who weren't a bad centre half either, was he? To be fair.
To be fair, he's a trier, sort of. He is a trier. He's not world class, but I tell you what, he does try. He does try.
He was better than his ex-teammate, Des Hamilton, that's for sure.
Is he ever? 100%, man. And yeah, so your turn, Tony.
Yeah, so my next one. Let's get this up here. You might recognise him, John. Yeah, you might recognise him, John, but you might not. Because is that on now? So this is Roman Amalfitano, who he signed from Reims on a free transfer. Never played a Premier League game for us. He played 4 times in the Europa League, hence he's got the shirt on with respect on. Came in, supposedly up-and-coming player from France, and to be honest, pointless signing in my eyes, and didn't get a chance. And when he did come on, he didn't really look any good. So another one that we got out the door fairly quickly. I don't know if you remember him, John, do you?
I do, actually. I do. And let's be real. I mean, yeah, what, 2 seasons of us, by the way? Yeah, spent a season with us, by the way. We got him on a long-term contract. Hardly didn't play a game. He went on loan to Dijon on loan, and he went back to Dijon on a permanent basis. He's 33 years old, and he's now playing in Australia.
He is, John, yes. He, you know, maybe his brother was probably better, Morgan.
He was really good. He was really good for West Brom. Very, very, very impressive, the kid. You know what I mean? But hey-ho, nah. You're right. I mean, what about you?
I remember him in Europa League, and to be fair, he didn't look bad. And then we got to this point when we had 6 or 7 players injured, and we're struggling in the league.
Yeah, and
we're still winning games and progressing in the Europa League. And then I thought, we've got so many injuries. Why isn't he playing in the league? Where Bargy was only using him in Europa League. Yeah, but it was probably 4 out of 10 though. So, yeah.
Me personally, I would have given him a 0 because he didn't kick a ball for us, right? So
yeah, well, not in the Premier League, yeah.
Nah. But Europa League, not for me. I think it's all Didn't pay a lot of money for him, but not for me.
I want a free, John.
And that sums it, man.
Yeah.
Everyone loves a free, don't they? Everyone loves a free.
Yeah, but it was one of these, John, where Mike Ashley tries to bring a player in on a free or for a very low fee, and let's see how much we can get from him. He done the same with Joe Linton. When he brought Joe Linton in, he was expecting Joe Linton to bang the goals in at 40 million, and then he was hoping that if he banged the goals in, say 20 goals or whatever, somebody would come in and say, "Oh, I'll give you 80 million for him," and yep, I'll take your hands off for it.
Exactly. Yeah. It didn't work, but he's unsellable. And I'm amazed he's not been asked for a new contract as well, by the way. I think he's got 3 years left on his contract. Yes, it's his 4th season now. So I believe, yes, his 4th season. So you have 2 years left on his contract. Be careful, because I can see better clothes coming in for him as well. Luque looks amazing in the Spanish league before he signed. Yes, had high hopes for him, but it's injuries, I'm afraid. That is a problem. Damon Duff, remember thinking how Levy was on the Jose at Chelsea? Joined us, did very little. Left first opportunity, got, good riddance to bad apples, by the way, let's be real. Stephen Ireland, another poor player. Thank you, man. We paid 40 mil for Joe Linton. Every Newcastle fan thought it was bad. And now look at him, our best player last season, and he's kept up the hard work from that. But Joe Linton is definitely not the worst signing now. He's definitely not. Stephen Adams, another has been signed for Damien Duff. Jordan's as a striker is a bad one, but as a midfielder, he is brilliant. And yeah, him and Bruno together is a great partnership. Big up to Sean. To be honest, most signings in the 14 Ashley era were bargain basements. So many poor signings yet. Johan Kabay was absolutely amazing signing, by the way. Maric was good, but just never got started for us, which is a shame. Now, Frank Duma as well. I mean, what do you think of him, Tony? Frankie Duma?
Yeah, not a great signing. I don't remember a lot about him, John. That's how bad of a signing he was. Yeah, to me wasn't that great, if I'm honest.
Not for me. A lot of people won't remember him, by the way.
Can't even remember him. What year it was, anyway.
Yeah, came from Marseille, didn't he? Came from Marseille when Bob Wilson took over, and he got rid of him after 6 months. He wanted to play sweeper, and Bob Wilson wouldn't let him play sweeper. But hey ho, what can I say? Off he went. Barbara, bigger than Barbara, by the way, and thank you again for coming on the Transfer Deadline show. I really appreciate that. And we've got Anderson, Boomsong, and Torvan, all very poor. Excuse me, that is Andreas Anderson, not Elliot Anderson, by the way. And Alessandro Bastoni, gotta be a great shout. He is effing awful. Look, he looked good for Internazionale in Milan, but for Newcastle, he was absolutely appalling, by the way. I'm sorry, but did I read for Everton? That's his level. And I got one for Foxy. Don't know why I actually thought that. Jordan couldn't even score a lot in Brazil for Recife. Never scored double figures before he joined us. But that is very, very true. I said my bit. Roy, another name, one of the worst signings in Newcastle's history.
Well, it's going to be two because they're brothers, and it's the De Jong brothers, Siem De Jong and Luke De Jong. So we got Siem first.
Yeah.
And then after 2 or 3 weeks, oh shit, we got the wrong brother.
Yeah.
So we got rid of him. We got his brother. He's fucking worse. But the thing is, to be fair to the two lads, Siem De Jong kept getting injured. The way the team was playing, and it was one of those. What was it 2015 when Siem came in? Was it end of 14? The team was it was the beginning of the end because we had that good team that stayed up and then finished 5th, and then it was just going downhill. Pardew was leaving, and it just went with the best manager in the world, John Carver, and then it just went downhill. So I think with Siem, he was injured and he came in the wrong time. So we got rid of the shit brother and we said, oh, we're going to get the good brother now, Ashley style. The good brother comes in, not enough service. I'm not sure, 14, 15 games. Absolutely horrendous. And look at him with Barca now. Was it 6, 7 years later? I would love him with us now. I would love him if we had him with us at that same age he was then. Now, be banging goals and right, left, and centre the way we're playing now. But there you go. So sorry, the young brothers, but yeah, those two horrendous.
Sad, man. But at the end of the day, we watched Siem De Jong sort of happening against Man City. I thought this guy looks the real deal. And you would have thought he was that good. I think he was going to end up going to the Madrid or Barca, one of the two. But the problem with Siem De Jong, he just gets injuries, and that is the thing. And I'd high hopes for this guy. Do you know what I mean? Pay $6 million for this guy. I thought what a cracking signing it would be, but it's the injuries that's let him down. He was injury free. That miss against Aston Villa, when he missed a sit-out against them, summed up the season and his career at Newcastle United, which is a damn shame. It really, really is. But he could have been what could have been for Siem De Jong. Hey, it is what it is. But there you go. Big up to Ian, by the way. Big up to you, mate. Hope you're okay. Michael Owen is complete. Nobber, you are correct. Joe Linton could add more goals to his game. Then you can see him mention him for a possible Brazilian cap after the World Cup. He'll not be in the World Cup this year, in my opinion. I think anyone say it, he will not be in the World Cup this year, but I'll be surprised.
Yeah.
Big up to Gibbs, right? He's a Spurs fan, but he's also a soft spot for Newcastle. Good lad, Gibbs, good lad, mate. And Michael had no loyalty to Newcastle, and this is a club for everybody you can get. Correct. And some of the players mentioned during this, I forgot, actually played for us, and I've been a Toon fan since 1983. There's so many of them as well. What about Woodgate? He was excellent when fit, one of the best, but was never fit, and we didn't get enough out of him. Paul, listen, he's up there with the very, very best. It's just injuries. That's all it is. But that guy, when he does play, that guy is absolutely world class. Yeah, obviously, he did a good job on Jobber against Marseille. Brilliant. Has anyone mentioned Famaka, Tony? Famaka?
No,
I
I've not seen anybody.
First one.
Brian Pinas.
Oh my God. And what's the only injury for weeks? I've just been put in the eye. I can remember that as well, by the way. All these people, right, gets injuries as well for Newcastle. And someone's just taken the mickey, by the way. Sam was so excited for he came, and Luke was a goal machine, came here and became sit notes. And you summed it up beautifully, mate. Paul Dalglish was sympathy signing for sure. And I got one here from Maka, the worst Brazilian ever. Can you imagine if he played for us now? I think Eddie Howe could turn into a super player, by the way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But, right, I'm going to go on the table now, right? I'm going to start with you, Tony. Your 3 worst signings for Newcastle. 3 worst.
Yeah, I was just going to stick another one here on.
Yeah, go for it, man.
Right, go on.
So I'll just stick this one up. The only reason I see he's a bad signing, as I'll explain in a moment. Right, it's up there now.
Yeah,
we have Kennedy.
Oh, yes.
Now, when he came on that half-season loan, he was brilliant for us. He done very well. As you can see there, he scored that goal against Southampton. But then he came in for a full season, and he was absolutely woeful. He was terrible. Do you remember that?
You know what it is? You know what it is, right? Everyone packed him up and said, get him back, packed up, right? You know, he scored a goal against United where he got beat by 3 goals to 2, right? This guy, everyone's saying, get him back, yeah? And he just come back out of sympathy, man. He didn't really want to be at Newcastle United. He was quite happy putting up his wages at Chelsea. Now he's just on a 5-year contract with, is it Valladolid? In the 5-year deal. So when I thought, good luck with you, Valladolid, because I tell you something, mate, not good.
And he was absolutely terrible, wasn't he? You know,
I think he had I think I've got a small opinion about him. Something's happened to him, and he got a shock of his life. It was that penalty miss against Cardiff, first game.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah, that was terrible, wasn't it?
And then the way his face, and then the next game, and I think it just got into his head. It's a bit like the goalkeeper we just signed against when he was Liverpool's goalkeeper against Real Madrid. He was fine all season, and then he had that shocking game. Basically, all 3 goals were his fault. Gone, and a career gone. Went downhill from there, and it was just that's when your brain rules the rest of you. You just let it get into you, and it snapped out. It's gone. And I think that penalty miss, last minute, wasn't it? Or 91st was 92nd minute. I almost got kicked out of the pub here in Doha as well. There was a kick in the chair. Idiot missed the penalty, and then the next game after game, and I think we went 9 games without win with that. It was with Rafa as well.
9
games without win.
That's not good, Tony.
Yeah, exactly. He was, that penalty miss against Cardiff, like you said, Roy, that was absolutely shocking. And, you know, because he was sold for it, I'll take the penalty, I'll take it. And he was terrible. And I'll just quickly share one more picture. This player has not even been mentioned in the chat tonight at all. Some of the younger people in the chat might not know who he is. You might know who he is, John. I'm not going to mention his name until he's on screen.
Okay.
Right, it's up now. Do you remember him, John?
I must have been about 10 then.
Yeah, same here.
We're talking 1989, John.
Oh yeah.
I was
John
13.
Hendry.
Wayne Faraday.
Oh man, he was
He
just
came from QPR. He was absolutely shocking, John.
pants,
Terrible
man.
player. Absolute awful player he was. He played 33 games for us, but he weren't great, to be fair.
Not
but
for me.
not a
Yeah,
great
yeah.
player, no. But yeah, and then I think we went on to West Brom after us. But sorry, we went to Bournemouth after us, and he was terrible at Bournemouth as well. So yeah, but no, that's the old Wayne Faraday, who sadly didn't live up to his billing as being a good player for QPR.
Not for me at all. I'm sorry, but nah. Good.
I just thought I'd share that one because nobody
Thank
said
you.
that in the chat, and I thought, I didn't rate him at all, to be honest.
And not good, man. Not good. Go through the comments as well. We're going to go around the table as well. I've just seen a tweet showing a picture of Bruno Trendier. It looks like he's good for Bournemouth. That looks good, doesn't it?
So.
We need him badly. Big style. Especially when he played the ball out from the back as well. Peters could not get on the end of. Yeah, I'm not going to read that. Nearly fell for it. Nearly fell for it, but I didn't get to read it. Owen as well, an American guy. Robert ASM, is he fit? We'll find out on Friday. Willak, the next Kennedy. Matt Sells was horrifically bad. He paid $7 million for this guy as well. He had something going on in his family. His mind wasn't on the job. Well, to be fair, he's doing our eats in it at the minute. That's Strasbourg, by the way. Carpaccio legend fans with Leon, but Crawford, absolutely. Whoever decided that Newcastle should be jailed for life.
Guys.
Jail for life. Bless
that
him.
was the.
They call it the barcode top, don't they?
They do, yeah.
One side had the sharp ones and the other one had the white ones. Yeah.
I did have that shirt, though, believe it or not, yes. I was only 17 at the time, but yeah, I did have that shirt.
Wow. Bless. Yeah, could be. I could be tweeting tonight, that sort of thing. Over to job play. Right, we're going to wrap up in a minute, yeah. But first of all, I'm going to ask Tony, your 3 worst signings in your time.
3. Oh God, John, now you're putting me on the spot. I could sit here and reel off a hell of a lot more than 3, if I'm honest. I think all of us could, to be fair. Right, if I've got to go for 3 top signings, that were the absolute worst. Michael Owen's got to be top of the table. He was more on that treatment table than he was on the pitch. So I would say Michael Owen, followed by Des Hamilton. He's another bad one. Well, I would say Des Hamilton, but there's him as well. But there's other ones. I'm going to say Michael Owen, Riviere, and my 3rd one. God, John, you've put me right on the spot. Yeah, matey. You're good at this, aren't you, John?
I'm brilliant. Hey!
Yes. So,
I'm not going to read that. Sorry, I'm not going to read that. Thanks, Mason, but...
yes, I'm going to say Marcelino as well because he was absolutely terrible. He was another one that was a sick note as well.
Broken finger.
So Owen, Riviere, and Marcelino. That's 3 I can give you. I can give you a lot more if you want, John, but that's 3.
Yeah, that's me. Fair enough. And for you, Roy?
Okay, because you said Owen, so I'm going to go first with Cisco. Okay, it was only 6 million, but it was 5 years of wages on top. 9 games, so top. That's one of them. The second worst one will be Boom Song. Boom Song, money under the table. Definitely not even worth that money it was paid for. Let's think of the other one now. There's loads. I've got 20 in my head, and I can't remember now. Because they're all worse than each other. So
there's a lot in there. There's a load. Chris
I'm trying to go for the ones that cost a lot of money and
didn't make it.
There's loads.
Chris gone for Owen Luque Boomsong, Owen Rossley and Des Hamilton Boomsong. I was playing the ring 30 games. Rob McDonald. Go on.
Oh, God, yeah.
Tovan.
Is that Rob? Go on.
Tovan's my third one. Tovan, that's the one.
Fair enough. For me, Michael Owen's on top of that list. Complete and utter waste of money at 16 million quid with the injuries he's got. His heart wasn't in Newcastle and didn't care. Riviere, everyone's piping this guy up when he joined, saying he's going to make a difference with his pace and goals. And I said, I've been playing for Monaco, by the way, he can get goals. Well, no. At the end of the day, he ain't good enough for me. I think he's one of the worst I've seen. So I'll go with Foxy as well. And thirdly, right, I can never about 50, by the way. But for me, I'm going to go between Cisco or Boomsong, one of the two. But for me, I have to go with, I could easily say Cisco. I'm going to say Boomsong for me because that guy costs 8 million quid. He's had some shocking performances as well, by the way, right? When he gave the ball away, but when they had that penalty, he got sent off. If anyone can remember that, lost the ball, took out a kite, I think it was, gave a penalty away, he gets sent off. Everyone in gyms has absolutely laughed at him, by the way. That guy was finished at Newcastle United. Let's be real, right? And for me, it'd be Owen, Riviere, and Boomsong for me. And Fox has gone for Boomsong, Riviere, and Marriage. Paulston says Henrik as well. So I don't know if that choice is good, guys. I mean, for me, I said Owen. I'm going to go with says Owen, Riviere, and I'll go with Boomsong as well, guys. So that is not great.
No, I thought I couldn't pick. I thought I couldn't pick the same ones. That's why I didn't pick Owen. That's why he. Okay,
fair enough.
Now, if I can change it, Owen's top. Yeah, Owen's top.
Absolutely. So I was going to say as well that they need to fix it. They needed to fix up and didn't fix up. So we have wasted, Tony, a hell of a lot of money. Titus Bramble wasn't on that list as well, by the way. He has some good games and he has some poor ones as well. But listen, you know, it doesn't quite make it to the worst. Time's gone. You
got his name wrong, John. It's Titus Shambles.
Shambles. He was really in some games.
You know, he was a shambles. But the best thing he did was
getting sent off
when he played for us against Sunderland, and he got sent off on Halloween that day. Remember?
He played for Sunderland.
5-1. Yeah, 5-1.
He had a horror that day.
That's his best game.
A horror on Halloween.
He did. But he wasn't booed. He wasn't booed by the fans, though. He wasn't booed by the fans, to be fair. But look, at the end of the day,
because we knew he was crap, John. That's why.
Exactly. We just stood there. But one thing I will say, I'm going to agree with Paul, right? And that's one of the sensible things he said for a while. I do like Paul, by the way. Bramble Susan said, I was there that game, and he was man of the match. I can't lie. He was man of the match against Inter Milan. And I said, that's the best game he has played. You would have thought that he's playing for a move to Inter Milan. Do you know what I mean? Because Italy loves defenders. And that game, he was absolute. I said, who's this guy? I've never seen this guy play like that in my life. He could do the thing, this guy's. He can do it when he wants to do it, right? But why can he not do it in the Premier League?
That's the thing, John. Some players just can't hit it in the Premier League, can they? But you put them in an international game abroad and they can play brilliant because, you know, it's just the way it is. Some players are made like that, aren't they? You know, it's like any sport, really, you know. I mean, if you look at, like, say, for instance, you look at Maguire at Man U, right? He's terrible for them. But when he plays in the England team, he looks a totally different player.
Yeah.
It's one of them. Does he play better for country than he does club? The same was with some players who've played better for their clubs but can't play for their country. It's, you know, it's a strange one, isn't it? Because, I mean, you look at Maguire in an England team. He ain't bad in an England team. And now we put that penalty away against Italy in that Euro finals. I mean, I was dreading when he was walking. I thought, why is Maguire coming up the spot? But tell you what, the way he dispatched that penalty, no keeper was saving that. I don't care how good the keeper was. There was nobody saving that. He took the net off.
Yeah, exactly. And he played theatre back as well, like Claude last mentioned as well. And got some more for Bramble. Was happens he's playing, let the ball bounce for clearing. Bramble against Bars at home was also his worst. Woodgate
Yeah.
made Bramble look great.
I think that's what it was.
Absolutely.
I think
He concentrated against with him.
I was there once. We played Sheffield United, and I've never seen a defender look so lost. He just didn't know what to do with the crosses, and the whole thing was a mess. Shea Given couldn't command his area, and can't even remember who Alan. No, was it Stephen Carr was there? It was I can't remember. It was just shocking at the back.
Yeah.
I think we lost 1-0. It was a firebomb day, I think.
Yeah, I can remember that.
Freezing. Yeah.
Stephen
Yeah,
Carr.
that's some shocking.
Yes.
Stephen Carr, oh my god, against Sporting Lisbon. Oh,
Can remember that. Oh my god. What was he thinking of, man?
yeah.
Not good. When he signed for Ipswich as Sir Bob, Bob did a lot of business with Ipswich, and he called. Thank you for calling me Sir Paul. Appreciate that. And England play back 3 or back 5, whatever you want to call it.
Back 3, yeah.
So there you go. We're going to wrap up there, guys, and thanks for joining again. Really, you guys backstage. And Roy, did you enjoy coming on my show, mate?
Oh yeah, mate. The loan was good.
Brilliant stuff. Brilliant. So I might get on the Monday regular as well, by the way. You know what I mean? We talk to Paul about it and get on the regular.
Well, we'll have to speak to Paul, John. We can't just take him, John. We'll get into trouble off Paul.
Exactly.
I can't do that. Yeah, I can't do the Wednesdays because I play darts on Wednesday. Most Wednesdays.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of my other talents, hidden talents. I'm shit though.
I play darts as well, so yeah.
I've been playing for 13 years now and haven't hit 180 yet. So
I've never hit one, to be fair, and I'm just waiting for the Winter League starting up. But yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, I've had loads of 140s, but I've never hit a 180.
Definitely, you're absolutely right.
It's hard.
I play with my left, and I've got a watch on, and sometimes I take it off and put it on, and change the watch, and it's nothing to do with the weight. I'm useless.
Exactly. Good lad. I'd love to play darts sport aim, but finding the time. We've got one here, 5 at the back. Maguire was also better than Leicester because Kante was a different league to recent Man United midfielders. And Chris said, no problem. Great show, lads. Thank you. Clone lad, appreciate that. And we did another Newcastle's best signings next. We will do that 110%. Another great show. Thanks, Graham. Thanks, Ian. And thanks, guys. If you like the video, like what you see, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button as well. And if you want a super chat, click on the $sign. And if you like to become a member, it's 99p. Click on the join button as well. And we'll find Tony on TonyTooney31. He'll follow you right back. And he'll chat to all things Newcastle United. Roy _ Vianney as well. Also on Twitter as well. Big up to both guys. And I'll see chatters tomorrow for the Premier League review, Premier League prediction, 7 o'clock. And until then, guys, don't go away, guys. Chat. It's a goodbye for now, and enjoy your evening.